Hello friends, Jim here with JBsBigAdventure coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And welcome back everybody, and those of you that are new to the channel, welcome also. I know this is going to be a community and a place and a channel that you want to be a part of. So today I'm going to be talking about the 11 negatives about living and retiring in Mexico. Now, I just want to be upfront and let you know that what I'm going to be sharing with you affects Mexico, and depending where you're at Lake Chapala, they could affect you there also. So let's go ahead and get right into the information. Okay, number one, public restrooms here are not free. So anytime you see a public restroom, it doesn't matter if it's at Lake Chapala, if it's in Guadalajara, wherever it may be, it's going to be 5 pesos. Now, I encourage everyone to at least make sure that you carry a roll of toilet paper, or a small roll. I carry one on my bike all the time. Not that I, you just never know. Being at a distance. When you start getting older, you have to go a little bit more often than you do when you're young. So, and also know that you probably, chances are, won't find a toilet seat. I don't know what it is about Mexico, but toilet seats are not found everywhere. So again, it all depends on where you're at, and just take that in consideration. Number 2, the topes. The topes are the speed bumps that are all throughout Mexico. They're also here at Lake Chapala. In fact, there's a couple of, they're actually large ones that they're actually taking out because they found that they're just going to redirect traffic to go another way. So yes, there's a good number of them. All depends on where you are around Lake Chapala. There's more as you get on the outskirts going towards Cotepec, or even going towards on the other side of Chapala. So they are hard in the suspension, although Barbara and I have been here for 3 years. Our suspension is not shot yet. So, and you don't have to drive over them fast. It's just making sure it's keeping everybody slow. Now, if you live in a community where there's no cobblestone, you won't find the topes there either. You cannot drink the water. Now, here at Lake Chapala, and you're going to hear me talk about depending which neighborhood, because the neighborhoods here vastly not changed, but they're different. And some of them are a lot older than others because of the fact that when it comes to the infrastructure, it isn't in all the neighborhoods. So I'm going to talk about the utilities here in a moment. But there are neighborhoods you don't want to drink the tap water. Now, where we live, we actually live in a community where actually it's fed by a spring. As a matter of fact, the developer actually provides the water for not only our development, but the development next door, and another one that's actually one development over. So we can drink the water. It's been tested through the labs in Guadalajara. So we can't drink it. We still get the 5-gallon bucket, the 5-gallon containers for drinking water, but we can drink right out of the tap. We just got used to getting the bottles. Your neighborhood might be noisy. Now, there are some folks that come down that the noise bothers them if it's somebody having a party on a weekend. Or in the distance, they can hear mariachi music, or they can hear music. Well, what I want you to know is it isn't as bad as a lot of people make it seem. Now, we live in a place where we're able to hear things. I have never heard it so loud that you can't sleep, or it's happening at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, like I've seen some folks on Facebook post. It's ridiculous. Now, what do they do here? It's part of the Mexican culture. It could be celebrations, birthdays, quinceañeras. It could be parades that are taking place. Cajotes, what is the fireworks, the bottle rockets that they shoot up into the air, part of the celebration. And loud music. What they do is they have a lot of live bands that are actually here that are providing music to different parts of the community. And so depending on which neighborhood you're in, depends on what takes place with that, and what, in fact, how it affects you in any way. Okay, number 5, uneven sidewalks or no sidewalks. Okay, so if you are in, first I should say, there is a bike trail that goes all the way from Hocotepec to Chapala and the 20 miles in between. So if you're just wanting to get out on a wheelchair, the place that you're going to find the most sidewalks is going to be Chapala, because they do have more sidewalk area than Ajijic or San Antonio or Hocotepec or even anything going west. So not all areas are wheelchair friendly. Also, and I'm going to say it again, it's development on the neighborhood that you're actually in. Now, I keep on saying this. I offer a relocation service. It's also a tour that I give that covers all the way from Hocotepec to Chapala. And what I do is I take you through these different neighborhoods. I let you know what services you're not going to get, or which services are not going to be very substantial or be able to give you the reliability that you're looking for, or high-speed internet. So if you have an interest in that, you can simply email me at JBsBigAdventure521@gmail.com, and I'll make sure I include that also in the description, because I do mention the neighborhoods a lot, because it really matters here at Lake Chapala. The lack of safety building codes and inspections. So they do construction here totally different. There's no wood construction. It's all either steel, brick, mortar, cement. So that's literally how the building is done here. So, but the infrastructure, I mean, what they do is they actually will make lines in the wall where they can actually put the tubes that they put the electricity through, the electric lines through. So it's a lot older when it comes to, depending on where you're at, which neighborhood you're in, how in fact you have access to those kind of things. So you might find that where you want to live is not wired by 220. So you can't run a dryer there because it's what it takes. Water pressure is another thing. Depending on where you are, depends on what kind of water pressure you have. So if that's something important to you, you want to make sure you take that into account. The electrical wiring, this is another thing. I'm amazed how, because I do rental videos and I do homes for sale videos, that when I've been at different places, when there's been inspections done, it's really funny how many wires they'll get to one fuse. You could have 10 wires and you have three fuses, and it's funny sometimes, but that can also be a real hazard also. So that's the lack of the building codes is something here that sometimes could have some help. So number 7, can't flush the toilet paper. Now this happens to be something when we're up from the north. That is a big thing, because we're brought up that, you flush the toilet. But because it is older, and again, I'm going to say, it all depends on which neighborhood you're in. Now, there are 23 that cover that I take people through and point out that are from Hocotepec to Chapala. And there's a big difference with them. How many years have they been there? Are they established? Is it newer? Do they have the ability and the infrastructure to have high-speed internet? All these questions. They're things that I actually cover when I'm with you on a one-on-one basis, or if it's a couple, one with two. So that's an important thing there when it comes to that. And as I mentioned, you want to carry toilet paper with you. You'll find that around the toilets and a lot of the public restrooms, you'll find they have a basket there. It's a little small trash can, basically. And I to this day still, I mean, it's just kind of something that weirds you out a little bit, I guess. I haven't gotten used to it. And I guess I could share with you, I won't get used to it. I just make sure I go where I know that I can flush the toilet. Because what happens is it's the infrastructure, incorrectly plumbed for plumbing. It might be they're using a lot smaller type of pipe to bring the water in so the pressure is low, or it's a place where there is low pressure. So those things are the reasons why you can't actually flush it. English isn't widely spoken here. Now, you're going to find more English that's spoken that's going to be in Ajijic. because that's where a concentration of a lot of the expats live. Although when you get to West Ajijic or you're going east, which would mean you would have La Floresta, San Antonio, and then going towards Chapala. So all depending on where you're at is how much English is actually spoken there. The farther you get to Jocotepec and the closer you get to Chapala, you're going to find less and less English is actually spoken. Now, that's another thing that I really cover when I'm with folks, because I think it's really, really important to know if you're looking at coming here, you're looking at renting a place, and you don't want to be somewhere and find out in 3 weeks that there's a big problem. That's what you don't want to do. So I suggest everybody to embrace the culture. It's really important, really important. Because of the fact that we're in their country, we're guests here. So you want to make sure that you think of that and realize that when we can talk to somebody and we can talk in their language, that makes a huge difference. Huge difference. And I encourage everyone to be working on that. Basic utilities aren't always reliable. Power outages, water shortage, water being brought in by tanker trucks, water tanker trucks. And again, guess what? It depends on which area you're in and which neighborhood you're at. Okay, fast internet, not available for everyone. And that is so true. We're grateful that where we've lived, there's always been fast internet because of the fact we've been in newer communities. But the internet here is really inexpensive. I had to upgrade ours. So we have 300 megs. You can get, and we pay, I believe Barbara told me $35. But you could actually get 500 megs for $49. And then they also have 1,000 megs here. So it all depends on what you're looking for and what your needs are. And I know that 300 works for us really well. So getting the optimal speed, you can use speedtest.net if you're here and you're looking at rentals and you're looking at renting something. You can actually use that app and find out what the speeds are. Cobblestone roads. It's not a smooth ride. And when Barbara and I got here and we were driven across the cobblestone, I says, honey, this is not where we're going to be living. So we live in a gated community and it's all hand-laid brick. And that's really what the communities here are done by, is they're done with hand-laid brick. So it makes it a lot nicer. So let me talk about some of the pluses real quickly for you. I want you to know that the pros outweigh the cons. And I just recently did a video about that. So, one, it's the largest expat community in Mexico. There's 1.5 million Americans that actually from the states that live in Mexico, and the largest concentration of them are right here at Lake Chapala. We have the #2 best climate in the world here. And the nice thing about it is the average temperature here is between 68 and 72 degrees year round. That's a yearly average. So it's very, very nice. It's like an eternal spring. Very, very comfortable. It's got beautiful scenery. It's vibrant colors here, the culture of Mexico. If you're looking at buying, it's got very low property taxes. And I've got some friends that own properties, and I've heard numbers like $200 or $300 for an entire year. That's crazy. You don't hear about that in the States. One of the things I really like is it's fresh air, open space. You know, we're right along the lakeside. So it's absolutely wonderful when it comes to you wake up in the morning, you can't see what you're breathing. And that's smog. Being from Southern California, I've been used to that. You know what they have here is strong family values, and I really appreciate that. You see a lot of the younger generation taking care of the older generation. And I think that's really neat. I think we've lost that touch in the States and possibly even north to Canada. You've got delicious food here. We've got amazing restaurants. There's a couple that I point out to folks. I've actually got a video coming out about the top 10 best restaurants here at Lake Chapala. And it's going to be a video we'll make sure you watch if you like eating. Okay, there's great produce. Great produce, fruits and vegetables every day that you can get fresh. There are also open markets at 3 different locations here along Lake Chapala that you can, in fact, can get your fresh fruits and vegetables at. There are senior discounts. basically retiree discounts. As long as you're over the age of 60, you can actually get those, and there's a card. And that is also one of the things I talk about on my relocation service, is I'm letting people know there's some benefits that are here that not everybody knows about. But it's one of those things I found about, and I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to have that. Because it's a big difference. If you could pay and you pay half for something instead of being full price, because of the fact of things that they do for the expats in regards to being seniors, that's a great thing. Beautiful lake and wonderful mountains. How could you get much better than that? It's just a peaceful and tranquility place. Beautiful mountains and beautiful lake. The ease of residency. Getting residency is not a real difficult thing. You just, if you're in the States, you just have to find out where your local Mexican consulate's at. I will share with you a little clue that I have come to know, and that is the fastest place to get your visa taken care of is in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've got probably a half a dozen people that I've actually flown there from whatever state they're from, and I've had their card in an hour. It took Barbara and I about a week to get ours, but we actually came during COVID. So going to the Mexican consulate in the States in Albuquerque, New Mexico, it took a little bit longer because of the fact of the pandemic that we were in. But that's also one of the things, ease of residency. Once you cross the border and come into Mexico, you've got 30 days to be able to get your passport stamped, and you actually get your card, your visa. It'll be your temporal visa or permanente. So that's really important thing, to have a really good attorney that is on staff or somebody you know of that can really help you with that. And I've got an attorney, immigration attorney that I refer everybody to. She's got over 33 years experience, and she does everything from visas. She also does citizenships. There are people who have been born in Mexico but lived in the States all their life, and they can actually get citizenship. And these are one of the things that she specializes in. So the ease of residency. So those are the 11 things. And friend, I hope that's been helpful for you. Again, I can't say enough about how great this place is. It's really a great place. So if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, I'd like to encourage you to do that. If you see value in what you've just had shared with you, it's fast, free, and easy to do. The bottom right-hand corner, there's a little red box. Tap on it, and you're subscribed. Go ahead and give us one of those thumbs up to let other people know it's a great video to watch about retiring to Lake Chapala. Also, make sure you stop by and say hi, ask a question, let us know of an idea for a video you'd like to see. And make sure, too, that you hit the bell, because that way you'll be immediately notified when our next video comes out. And you don't want to miss our next video. So with that, as always, thank you so much for being a part of this community, supporting this channel. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you on the next video.